Well, let me tell you, dear brother, that we can help you immeasurably. You need further instruction, and you need a new or more complete teaching for your people to enter into a more progressive evolution. You need the spiritual understanding of the life science of life, which will be given to you through this same means of which I speak, the lens, this great vast communication system. It is poised in the abstract. It is not a physical configuration. Are you familiar with the great lens of which I speak?
From my intuition, I have conjoined that there must be a dimension which has a development of such a high order that any things that we have on this plane are but recreations, and such as we have are very small facsimiles.
Well, indeed, this is true. Now, it has been a million years in the making. This great and magnificent device we term the lens. It is made of crystal and mind energies by countless thousands of spiritual and perfected beings. This lens is easily the size of a very large planet. It is filled with these countless thousands of mind energies, and it is made of crystal and mind energies itself. It is regenerative in nature beyond all conception. This is the manner and the way in which all planets can reach each other through this vast regenerative process we call the lens. Moreover, it is creative in nature, that insomuch that healings take place where the people need healings. Your relationship to the lens, your frequency relationship, and your contact with the lens will help enable people to be healed through this means. There are no limitations to that which this lens can supply and teach and create, for it is the very creative substance itself. Yes, dear Link, you are so right. There are indeed high spiritual dimensions. The great planet Eros and its 6 subplanets are all one of those levels and dimensions which are so spiritual in nature that they do not need anything other than their minds to create their necessities, whatever they are, whether it be the plants, the trees, the homes, the furnishings, whatever it is they need or want or wish, care to have, is all done with the creative mind energies, the psychokinetical power, along with the great creative source of all things. So this is indeed a very advanced spiritual planet, and they are now willing, ready, and able to share their knowledge and to help all the earth planes to be stepped up in their evolution. Knowledge, of course, is the basis of all. A greater understanding of the infinite creation, infinite nature of mind and man. So we must ever be first and last, and in all ways ever be conscious of the infinite nature and the creative principle within each individual. We must learn to be outgoing and share with our fellow man that which we have. This is an important concept, and as well as many other of the regenerative principles. For if we are not progressing and regenerating in nature, we are then regressing, for energy cannot be static. Thus, it is important for each individual being on your planet to learn this higher way of life. The teachings will be distributed and taught to you from these higher centers, beginning with the simple waveform, how each atom is constructed of countless thousands of energy waveforms and vortexes, how there is no such thing as a solid material, that all things are psychic or spiritual, and that all things are created first from the inner, and all physical appearances are simply the last dimension or the lower dimension, and thus they appear as solid in this dimension, yet there is no solidity whatsoever. So these interdimensional concepts and the principle of eternal life, or the continuity of life, are most vital for man to conceive if he is to maintain a progressive evolution. And of course, this is of vital importance, for if we are not regenerative in nature, then we are regressing. And a regressive planet or people is a very, very destructive element, destructive to oneself, of course. We have contact planets in the past few days that have practically destroyed themselves by being self-concerned and possessive with their things that they supposed to be just enjoying and partaking. They made of them the great possessions, and thus the creative frequencies and energies from the higher dimensions could not be brought into them. They shut themselves off from this great inflow by not being aware and conscious thus. So these things are all vital to the well-being and welfare of any individual or peoples. And so you will thus be taught through this magnificent lens any and all things you need to know about your building of your city. And as you say, you already have your wondrous tower, and I am so happy to hear about this. Your city will be surrounded with a tall wall of pearl or alabaster. Are you aware of this?
I have a memory of my life lived on an inner planet, which is not complete in the details necessary, but I do have this a memory of a wall. I have a memory of the city,
Yes.
of great beauty, of many shapes, of forms, and I have a great impression of the radiations which gleam from out the domed towers of the buildings, and which give the city a very crystalline, diamond-shaped appearance. I do not know much more than this, as I have come back from dream state many times with these memories.
Yes, well, you have lived on this planet Eros, and we are all, each of us who are building one of these star centers, and that's what we call our city, and where we have each have these beautiful high-towered and temples. We call it a star center. The reason is, if we were to draw a design of the exact position which each one of these cities or temples is located in the entire planetary system, I understand that they would form the pattern of a great seven-pointed star.